If I'm being honest with you, the review that I'm about to do now was one that I thought I was going to do last summer, but that was not to be. It's now the summer of 2023, and my look at the Nissan Ariya is what you're about to see. Stay with me. So at long last, I'm in a Nissan Ariya ready to give it a full review. It was 3 years ago when I covered the global debut, the launch announcement of this second electric vehicle from Nissan to come along, the much heralded Ariya. And it was about 1.5 years ago when they brought a Japanese spec unit to a retail pop-up in a mall in Toronto where I did a walk around, but it's been until the summer of 2023 when I could finally do a review. Certainly the delays were caused by COVID and by some internal issues at Nissan. It has put them behind the ball because I think once upon a time this was going to be at the lead of this pack of next generation crossover EVs that we see that beat them to the punch. You know, this may have been or should have been ahead of the Ioniq 5 and the Mustang Mach-e and the ID.4, but it's not. And so here we are. Let's take a look now at the exterior of the new Ariya, and compared to the Leaf, we've certainly seen an evolution in design. It's more attractive by far, I think, than the Leaf. I mean, we're dealing with an entirely new platform and a whole different design language. But if you look at it compared to its direct competition, shall we say, the Ioniq 5 may have more of a modernist type of look to it with its pixel orientation, the designs and the pixels there. Compare this to something, I mean, this is more simplistic, I think, in its overall lines, and that would be similar to the ID.4, but I like this more than the ID.4. It just seems to have a different type of elegance to it. You compare this, say, to the Mustang Mach-e. Well, that Mustang has more aggressive lines. I mean, it has its lineage as a muscle car, so you would expect that. And then you look at this compared to a Model Y, and well, the Model Y is a completely unconventional, very Tesla kind of design. And this is certainly more, I think, more traditional in its overall appearance. So it has its distinctive space in terms of the overall exterior look compared to its predecessors and its competition. Now, if you want to take a look at some of the key elements that sort of highlight it, what you're looking at here in the front is you have an all-new grille. And again, all EVs don't need air intake, so you have some creative license. And this new shield that Nissan is calling it, what you also see is you have now an illuminated LED logo, which works at night. And on the rear, of course, you have, I mean, the C-pillar is really kind of steeply raked and it folds back. You've got your high spoiler with the air intakes that we see. However, this is similar to the Ioniq 5, but with the Ariya, it has a rear wiper blade, which is a big thing for me. You've got 19-inch wheels on the exterior. There are 20-inch wheels that are optional, but 19, I mean, overall, you've got two-tone color designs. Gray is gray, but you see a lot of different colors here. So it's nice on the outside. So let's go inside and take a look at what's on the interior. So we have an all-new platform here with the Ariya, and that's given the design team some creative license to completely go in a new direction, and they've done that. One of the most notable features is the fact that there is no drive shaft, so you've got a completely flat floor. And that's good because it offers a lot of more open space. It's good for putting things down, and that's important. I would prefer to see some kind of a tray, and I've looked online. It seems that you can find it. I've seen one. I don't know if it's an aftermarket or it's with Nissan, but I've seen you can get it, so that would be a good idea. So with the flat floor, they've decided to create something that they haven't done before, and that's what you see right here. The center console, well, it's actually movable. You can advance it forward, you can advance it back. Why? I don't know. I'm not exactly sure the usefulness of it. I suppose, I mean, you want to adjust where your elbow is comfortable. Aside from that, I mean, it's neat and it shows you can do things, but there's no real benefit to the rear passengers. There'd be less if you had a third person in the back row and you moved it all the way back. And this center console, it has functionality, of course. You've got it's where your gear selector is. You've got cup holders. This is where your wireless charging would be if you're just looking to charge. However, there is not wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You still need to connect to your USB ports, which are down here. For that. Elsewhere, looking at the design, you're looking at the front here, you've got our more common now dual screens that are connected through one panel of glass. My driver information display has the LED readouts that we've seen before in the new Rogue, the new Pathfinder. It's pretty much something that we're used to seeing. But there's not as many crazy customizable options. There certainly are some here. What I really do like about my driver information display, and it seems like it's something that should be with everybody, but I have on this, I know exactly my distance to empty and the percentage. The center infotainment screen. Now, the Ariya had some delays, and I know there's been some internal struggles at Nissan. Maybe one of the things that had to give a little bit is this center information in the infotainment screen. It's okay. It's touch. There's no controls on the center console, so what you're looking at is entirely touch, and the feedback isn't great. You've got plenty of information. The graphics are, I don't know, the way it's laid out just seems like they could have, had they had more time or money, they would have done better. So, I mean, not too much I can say about the center screen other than it's average. We do have a volume knob, and we have a kind of a weird knob here for tuning. Now, just below it is another new element to this. We see this sort of faux wood paneling, and this is where they've embedded their climate controls, and it's done through touch points and haptic feedback. It looks minimalist. It looks nice if you like the look of it, but I don't like the functionality of it. Anything that's got just, basic touch without sort of any button or ridges to sort of orient your fingers where they are is a bit strange. And the haptic feedback really does seem kind of odd because, again, it's anything with haptic feedback, you have to know exactly that you're right on point. And if you're not, then it gets really kind of off. And if you're driving, you're trying to focus, I'm not sure I like that. We've got the zero gravity seats, which are great, and as normal, Nissan makes your zero gravity seats well. They're comfortable, a little bit thinner this time. The sound system in this Evolve Plus is a Bose system. Again, it's pretty good. I mean, it's not the greatest. You're going to get into some more premium vehicles to get into that really rich, deep sound. Passenger volume is something we should talk about because, with all this extra space, no drive shaft, we should see good passenger volume, and we do, depending on whether you have the moonroof or not, or the sunroof, I should say. You can get up to 101.2 cubic feet of interior passenger volume. Passenger legroom in the back is good, and headroom is fine. Cargo space overall is good. There's quite a bit of space in there, and that's about on par with the competition too. Overall, the interior is nice. I won't complain about it, but if you listen to Nissan, the way they market it, in their press materials to us, they say that the interior sort of is something akin to a lounge on a Starship. I have no point of reference. I don't know what a lounge on a Starship would look like. Do you? Let me know if you do. But, I mean, it's okay. I'm not sure this would be what a lounge on a Starship is like, but overall, that's what they're saying. I just think it's a generally decent, but not galactic type interior. The Nissan Ariya is designed to come in both front-wheel drive and all-wheel drive dual motor. That's known as the E-Force. I can't test that now. It's not yet available, so all of us who've been reviewing it have been reviewing the front-wheel drive. And it's not an exhilarating experience. I mean, with the output, this isn't something that's going to be all about 0 to 100 or stuff like that. What I have found instead is with this front-wheel drive version, what I see is something that's not, I mean, it's not boring. You still get some responsiveness. There are different drive modes. I mean, you have a sport mode for what it is. It's still not going to be, lightning quick, but it does offer some greater, more responsive handling. And, you do also have what they call the E-Step, which is akin to one-pedal driving, but it's not. I don't know why they decided to do that because you can't come to a full complete stop. It's funny how they have the full one-pedal driving in the Leaf, but they decided not to bring it here. But, if it's that right combination of enough responsiveness and fun to drive with a great range, this is pretty good. overall, this Nissan Ariya is a good competitor into an increasingly strong marketplace of crossover EVs. It's unfortunate, however, that we had to wait as long as we did, because now I've had to compare it against the existing EVs that beat them to the punch instead of the way it should have been the other way around. All that said, great efficiency, decent look and design. The price is the big killer, so Nissan, you got to work on that, and if you can, you might have more popularity overall. But I hope you enjoyed this look at the Nissan Ariya, and if you are not subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. If you are subscribed, hey, remember to ring the bell so that you're notified of every time I upload something new. That's it for my look at the Nissan Ariya. I'm Eric Novak. Thanks for watching.